What is up, you guys? Welcome back again for another review, and today we'll be talking about the film Wicked. So, Wicked is directed by John Chu. If you're not familiar with one of his films, he also directed the film Crazy Rich Asians. So, it's pretty awesome that he made that film and then this film. So far, I think he's done a pretty good job. If you're not familiar with the Wicked, obviously it is a origin story, sort of sequel in a way, to The Wizard of Oz. And if you don't know The Wizard of Oz, then I can't help you out there. You got problems. So Wicked is about Albatha and Galinda. These are just two girls that are going to the same university, Shin University. Albatha had an unfortunate life growing up because of everyone judging her from the color of her skin. Of course, it being green. Even her own father was always mistreating her, blaming her for every little bad thing. Just totally being a total a-hole. Basically, everyone judging a book by its cover. And then you have Galinda. She is just a spoiled princess that gets anything that she wants, gets whatever she wants. Anytime that she doesn't get her way, you're basically a threat. I'm not gonna lie to you. I think most of the time in the movie, I think half of the movie is all music. Like, it's all song. I think so. There are certain times during the film where I was like, man, I'm surprised we've had 10 minutes between songs. It feels like it's been forever because they keep playing song after song after song. A lot of them are pretty good. I think there was I don't even remember the soundtrack. I think there's maybe 12 songs, and to me, I'm so stupid. 3 of them stand out. Oh, good lord. During the film, I had a little bit of a High School Musical 3 vibe. They were singing in some sort of cafeteria, then they moved on to some sort of dance room, and I was like, oh wow, I'm getting a little Troy Bolton, Gabriella vibes. I was like, ooh, that's kind of cool. The one thing I was really worried about coming into the film was the CGI, because judging from the trailers, it looked like there's a bunch of CGI, and I hate when movies are like that. It's what Marvel does all the time. I hate it, but surprisingly, it looked really good. There are certain times I was like, wow, I'm pretty sure that's an animatronic. That looks like that was built. I know that train is not real, but y'all did a great job. I was really impressed. Great job on the editors and the designers for creating such a beautiful world, because during the film, once you step right in there, you feel like you're really into that Wizard of Oz universe. It's a musical, so expect a lot of musical numbers, and you're not going to regret it. It's actually a lot of great songs in this film. The performances from Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande was so good. I think Ariana Grande could be in the talks for an Oscar nomination. I think her performance was fantastic. She really, really did a great job playing this role as Galinda. I was mesmerized. Her character was really complex. She had to play a very funny role, but when she was emotional, she was emotional. When she was serious, she was serious. When she was just playing that mean princess spoiled girl, she did a great job. Every aspect of her character, she just killed it. She did a great job. It kind of reminded me of when Ryan Gosling played Ken. Let's be real, Ken isn't a crazy complex character where you're doing something really explosive and crazy. You're not asking too much emotion from that character, but because of Ryan Gosling's performance playing his role so well, you see him now, you see him as Ken because he played it so well. Same thing when we see Heath Ledger, we see him as Joker. We don't see them as the actor anymore, we just see them as the character every single time you see them. That's exactly what Ariana did. A lot of people forget that she's an actress before she was a singer, and I'm not gonna lie, I wouldn't mind her being in more movies. It really surprised me. I was like, wow, Ariana, where have you been? Nickelodeon was not taking care of you. She really impressed me. And same thing with Cynthia Erivo. Cynthia playing Albatha is amazing. I think she did a great job playing her. And her singing is so freaking good. I've never heard her sing before this movie, and I was really impressed. The entire time, I was like, why haven't she been around? Where has she been? Why wasn't she in Glee? There's a certain scene in the film where she's having a solo moment, kind of having this little dance in this ballroom, and it's pretty emotional, it's pretty tense. You can feel it in the audience right now, and I'm getting chills just talking about it right now. Her delivery was so good, and I was like, wow, you can feel so much empathy for her character. You can see from her little facial expressions that when she's holding herself back from tearing up, and I'm like, oh my gosh, great job by Cynthia. Fantastic job. The choreography in this film is pretty awesome. I was really impressed with everything. I was surprised with the gyrating. There was a lot of gyrating, and I was like, whoa. Blur that out. Do something, because a lot of gyrating. That's it. That's all I got to say. This is a lot of gyrating. I was like, whoa, you're very close to that person's face. There was a certain scene where there's this librarian. Mind you, these are all students at this university. They're dancing in this library. And this old lady's telling this dude to shush. And this dude is like some Prince Charming looking dude. And he starts charming his way with this librarian. Mind, she's like probably like 175 years old. And he's supposed to be in his like early 20s. But he looks like in his 30s. But he starts charming his way. And this old librarian lady's like, oh yeah, come to me. I'm like, did you forget you're out of school right now? Oh man, I think it was the gyrating. I think that's what it was. Really got her with the moves. The film got better and better, but there was a time when, in the middle of the film, this is not a spoiler, there's a scene where Alpha, grabs Glinda to go on the train with her to go see Oz. And that was during the time when, I got kind of tired, had to readjust myself on my seat. I was like, man, we still have a while in this film. All right, let's keep this going. I felt pretty long. I think the problem with this film is you're kind of waiting for the story to continue, but with so many songs in between, you're like, okay, this song was really long. This song was really long. Can we make some progression in the story? Let's move it forward. Let's keep this train rolling. I'm actually really glad there's a part 1 and a part 2, because if this whole movie was together, this movie would have been way too long. Would have been at least 4 hours and would have been 20 songs. Too long. I'm glad it's part 1 and part 2. I'm looking forward to part 2. But overall, I think this film is really, really good. I think it surprised a lot of people, even surprised me, because when I walked out of the film, I was very satisfied, looking forward to the next one, and I wasn't feeling that excited before coming into the theater. But I'm a changed man, not even regretting that. All right, and it's hard to change people's minds on musicals. I think there's a possibility too where it could be an Oscar nomination for costume design. It looks that great. I'm excited to see more Cynthia and Ariana. I think it has a great choreography, amazing music. It looks fantastic. Wonderful performances from our 2 actresses. My only issues with the film is it is too long, and there are certain times during the film where I had a hard time understanding what they were saying. With all that being said, my score for this film is an 8.5 out of 10. I think 8.5 out of 10 is a really good score for this film. I think it is really, really good. Great music, great performances, everything like I said. I walked out of the film very entertained, but I wasn't over the roof. I think it just surprised me. I'm not that big of an Oz fan. I can appreciate a good film when I see one. 8.5 out of 10. Great job from you guys, Universal. Keep it up the good work. That is going to be my review for today. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next one.